I was cleaning out my greenhouse and I figured I might as well take an inventory of all of my Plinia or Jaboticaba plants that I've collected. So we'll start with this one. This is a couple years old. See, it's got some new growth on it. This is Rosa de Piscos. It's doing all right. It's kind of slow growing, but you see it's got some new foliage on it, looking good. Here is a Plinia ariana, and this thing, believe it or not, is like 3 years old, but it had all kinds of problems. I think I was overwatering it, had to change out the soil a few times, and now it looks like it's finally starting to pick up pace. Same thing with this Sanford. This is another one I got from Flying Fox Fruits. It's at least 2 or 3 years old, and it just does not like to be overwatered out here. So yeah, at least in Southern California during the winter time, it's good not to water them too much. This is a large Sabra, or large. It's like maybe 3-4 years old now. It's got some new growth here that's coming out. It's that time of the year when everything looks pretty good, so see the new growth looks pretty good. I had a friend come back from Brazil and bring me a clipping from one of the Jaboticabas there, so I grafted that on, see if it takes. This is a black pearl, Plinia black pearl variety from, I think, Taiwan, but the leaves are really starting to look gorgeous. You can see some of the new growth has a nice look to it. That one's doing well. This is Escarlate or Scarlet. This thing's kind of small, probably about 3 years old, but it's already flowered. It just didn't set any fruit. And I have this Scarlet cutting as well that I got from a Fruit Forum member, and this thing's fruited several times and it's flowering again. It doesn't do well when it flowers during the winter time, but you can see some of the flower buds coming out there on the trunk, on some of the branches. So this is kind of slow growing, probably because it's stunted by flowering all the time. This here, it's pumping out some new growth. This is, shoot, I forgot. Oh, this is the watermelon one. Yeah. This is a Plinia watermelon. It's got some dead leaves there, but this one's got some nice fuzzy pink growth to it. It's doing all right. Doesn't like the winter cold, but it's coming back. This one is Sapuca. Also kind of a cool leaf. Really caustic. Doesn't like city water at all. But you can see it's pushing new growth in some areas. So yeah, this one's doing all right. It's got kind of a funny trunk where it's dual trunk with part of it laying flat on the ground. This is Trunciflora, I think. Yeah, Trunciflora Cabino Cafe. This one also does not like the winter cold, but it's starting to push some new growth now for the spring, so that's good. These two raggedy looking ones, I don't know, they're on death's door. I've changed the soil several times. This is Plinia navel costata, and this is Plinia SP de Cruz. This one's pushing some new growth, but I swear I cannot get this thing to do well even inside of a greenhouse. Neither one of these. All right, this little guy, this is green crystal. So this is a Plinia ariana, a white Jaboticaba. Lots of growth on this. This has been a vigorous grower. Also about 3 years old. It's peeling a lot. I'd expect that this thing might flower soon, so keep my fingers crossed on that. All right, this one is another ariana. This is Zona de Mata. Really nice leaves again. Pretty good pretty good sizable leaves, and just recently flushed some new growth. Yeah, not much to say about that one. It's growing fast. This is Asupalista. A lot of new growth here. Really pretty leaves here. This is a vigorous grower, and winter doesn't seem to bother it at all. You can see some of the new growth looks really nice. Some bug must have got in there and chewing on the leaves. This is kind of the oddball. This is Plinia rivularis. This one also really likes rainwater. So this one pretty much almost exclusively just gets rainwater from some barrels that I collect the rainwater in. If I give it anything else, the leaves start getting brown tips on them. Pretty good looking plant, but it is kind of an oddball. And this is red lantern. This is another one, just wants to grow as a bush. Always seems to be pushing out new growth no matter what time of the year it is. You can see some new flushes coming in here, but it's just one big bush. And the trunk is starting to peel a little bit, so yeah, pretty healthy plant. I'll show you some of my large ones here on the other side. That all of these, the lineup here, they live in the greenhouse. I've got some larger ones that live outside. Once they get up to about 5 gallon, I start putting them outside, or the trunk gets a little bit larger. Okay, all of these are about 3.5 to 4-year-old plants. This is a red that's been grafted onto Sabara, so you can see the graft union there. And let's see if I can zoom it in right. You can see some flower buds coming in on the trunk there. This one's flowered but never fruited yet. A lot of new growth, even some new growth that's died off. But this thing almost completely defoliates during winter time. So this is about 3-year-old on a maybe 4-year-old Sabara rootstock. This is Coronata Histinga, and this is a pretty one. See some new growth. This one really likes being outside. Winter doesn't seem to phase it much, but it's got some pretty nice growth coming in, so it's about to put out a brand new flush. Yeah, this one's about 4 years old. I'll skip this one. This is a Merciaria Palilsa. Kind of a jabo, but not really. Alright, this is Plinia Campo Ramon. Really bright red growth. This one has some of the best new growth that I have out here, and it's pushing new leaves everywhere. So yeah, this one's probably about 4 years now. Real healthy tree. This one you can't keep a good tree down. This one just keeps always pushing leaves. So does really well out here in Southern California. This is Grandifolia, Plinia grandifolia, and it's pushing a lot of new growth. You can see the leaves are really fuzzy when they come out. Fuzzy and pink. So this one's looking good, and this is probably the thickest trunk that I have of all the Plinias. So yeah, this one's pretty happy. And last but not least is the Grimmel. This is another one that practically defoliates during the winter time and then just pushes from every node for new growth. So it looks unhappy, but it's pretty happy here. And this one's peeling a lot as well. And I got a bunch of red jabo seedlings here. I just give away to friends and neighbors. I got these on the cheap one time, so I just keep a bunch of them out here and let them grow outside. Don't care for them much, but they're growing up doing fine.